You all must have heard of Hurricane Katrina. Hurricane Katrina of the 2005 was the costliest hurricane as well as one of the 5 deadliest in the history of the United States. The number of these destructive hurricanes is increasing in number as compared to earlier years. What is the reason why such hurricanes are occurring frequently? Let's find out in today's episode. Hello and welcome. I am Deobrata Goswami. Today we will continue our discussion about a major concern of modern life. Yes, I am talking about pollution. In our earlier episode, we have already discussed about tropospheric pollution, stratospheric pollution, acid rain and smog. But today we will discuss what to do about it. In this episode, we will take a look at the depletion of ozone layer, greenhouse effect and global warming. Finally, we will look at important questions and answers in the exam decoded section. I am sure you have heard about the depletion of ozone layer and its after effects. Environmentalists keep mentioning terms like ozone depletion and ozone hole. What do they mean? Well, let's begin at the beginning. Ozone is a gas with the formula O3. It occurs in 2 layers of the atmosphere, troposphere and stratosphere. The layer closest to the Earth's surface is the troposphere. It generally extends up to 10 kilometers from sea level. Ozone present in troposphere is harmful as it may lead to difficulty in breathing, causing nausea and headache. It also leads to damage of crops, trees and other vegetation. Another important fact about ozone is that it is also a common component of smog. The stratosphere lies above the troposphere, that is between 10 and 50 km above sea level. Ozone present in the stratosphere protects life on Earth from the harmful ultraviolet radiations coming from the sun. So now the logical question is, how is ozone formed in the stratosphere? The answer is very simple. At a height of about 20 kilometers, ozone is formed from atmospheric oxygen in the presence of sunlight. Take a look at the reaction on your screen. Formation of ozone in stratosphere region begins with the photodissociation of oxygen molecules by UV radiations. The oxygen atoms then combine with oxygen molecules to form ozone. But since ozone is thermodynamically unstable, it decomposes. Thus, a dynamic equilibrium exists between the production and decomposition of ozone molecules. But this equilibrium is being destroyed by the chlorofluorocarbons, also known as CFCs, and it is the root cause of ozone layer depletion. Now, the question is, how do these chlorofluorocarbons reach the atmosphere? I will give an answer to this, but before that, let me tell you how we use CFCs. CFCs are used as coolants in refrigerators and air conditioners. In the past, they were also used in the manufacture of disposable foam products such as cups and plates, and as aerosol propellants in spray cans, and as solvents to clean newly soldered electronic circuit boards. The chlorofluorocarbons from all these household and industrial goods are released in the atmosphere. In due course of time, these CFCs mix with the normal atmospheric gases and eventually reach the stratosphere. In stratosphere, they get broken down by powerful ultraviolet radiations and release chlorine-free radicals. The chlorine radicals then react with stratospheric ozone and causes the breakdown of ozone, which leads to its depletion. So, CFCs are the transporting agents for continuously generating chlorine radicals into the stratosphere and damaging the ozone layer. Since mid-1970s, scientists have been concerned about the harmful effects of these CFCs on the ozone layer. You must know that in 1980s, atmospheric scientists working in Antarctica reported the depletion of ozone layer, commonly known as ozone hole, over the South Pole. This has led to many efforts, including the Montreal Protocol Treaty, to decrease the production of substances believed to be responsible for ozone depletion. That was all about ozone and its depletion. Later in the episode, we will figure out how to counter this. But that's after a short break. But in the meantime, here is a question for you from our website, www.topperlearning.com. Do you know when World Ozone Day is celebrated? I'll give you a hint. It is the day on which the Montreal Protocol Treaty was signed. I'll be back with the answer in just a bit. Welcome back. I am Devabrato, and today again we are discussing pollution. Before the break, we were talking about the depletion of ozone layer and I had asked you a question. When is the World Ozone Day celebrated? If you knew it's 16th September, then give yourself a green salute because you are environmentally conscious. And if we are talking green, we must discuss the term that environmentalists use very often. Yes, greenhouse effect. I am sure you have heard this term, but let me explain its significance. You might have observed that when you park your car out on a sunny day, the inside of the car becomes very, very warm, even more than the outside. Any guesses why this happens? Let me explain. What happens is that the sun's rays enter through your car windows. Some of the heat from the sun is absorbed by the seats, the dashboard, the carpeting, and floor mats. When those objects release this heat, all of it doesn't get out through the windows. Some heat is reflected back in. So a certain amount of energy is going in and less energy is going out. The result is a gradual increase in the temperature inside your car. In the same way, Earth also stays warm enough for life to survive with the help of a phenomenon called greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect was discovered by Joseph Fourier in 1824. So if you thought this was a new term, think again. But what is a greenhouse? Some plants, especially flowers, vegetables, and fruits, need a warmer climate to thrive. But how can a farmer grow them in a cold climate? Simple. He sets up a greenhouse. That is how orchids are grown in Himachal Pradesh. In a greenhouse, the visible light passes through the glass, reaches the plants and soil and warms them. The warm soil and plants emit infrared radiations. Since the glass is opaque to the infrared radiations, it partly reflects and partly absorbs these radiations. This mechanism keeps the energy of the sun trapped in the greenhouse. This helps in keeping the greenhouse warm. Just as the glass in the greenhouse holds the sun's warmth inside, the atmosphere traps the sun's heat near the Earth's surface and keeps it warm. This is called natural greenhouse effect. It maintains the temperature and makes the Earth perfect for life. So now you know what greenhouse effect is and how it's beneficial to mankind. But before we go further, let's take a call from a young friend.
What difference would it make to the Earth's temperature without the greenhouse effect?
What would the Earth be like without the greenhouse effect? Well, the Earth's average surface temperature is 14 degrees Celsius. In absence of greenhouse effect, it would be about minus 18 degrees Celsius. So, is the greenhouse effect only dependent on the sun's rays? Actually, no. Various gases also contribute to it. Take a look on the graphics shown on your screen. Carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, chlorofluorocarbons, and water vapor in the atmosphere are termed greenhouse gases. Out of these, the maximum contribution to the greenhouse effect is by carbon dioxide gas. Coming to another hot topic of today, that is global warming. What is it? And what does carbon dioxide have to do with it? Well, as you know, carbon dioxide is present in the Earth's atmosphere in trace amounts. But surprisingly, it plays a critical role in controlling the climate. If its amount crosses a delicate proportion of 0.03%, the natural greenhouse balance may get disturbed, and this may lead to global warming. Due to industrialization, urbanization, and increasing density of vehicles and the use of hydrocarbon products, millions of tons of carbon dioxide has been released into the atmosphere. And this amount is increasing. As a result of this, the proportion of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has increased by about 13%. And this increase in the amount of carbon dioxide has raised the temperature of the Earth by 0.5 degrees Celsius. It has been estimated that by the year 2030, the Earth's average temperature would be increased by about 2 degrees Celsius. This increase in temperature of atmosphere is called global warming. The other greenhouse gases may also lead to the heating of the atmosphere and cause global warming. This change in the Earth's temperature will adversely affect the monsoon rains and cause excessive melting of the polar ice, thereby raising the level of water in seas and oceans. This may also cause flooding and submerging of many low-lying areas. Till now, we have studied and discussed the reason for the depletion of ozone layer, greenhouse effect, and global warming. Now, let me take you back to the question I asked at the beginning of the episode. Why has the number of destructive hurricanes increased compared to the earlier times? Here is your answer. During summers, the atmospheric temperature increases. The air above the ocean, which is full of moisture, becomes warm and rises over the oceans. Due to this low pressure, air from surrounding areas moves to the low pressure area in an inward and upward rotating pattern. The rising of warm air leads to evaporation, and this results in cooling of the ocean. When the warm air rising above condenses, it results in the formation of clouds and rains. Condensation releases heat to the surroundings. This cycle of evaporation and condensation brings the ocean's heat energy into the vortex, that is a powerful circular current of water powering the storm. And we have hurricanes. So, what is the moral of today's discussion? Simple. it is very important to realize the importance of protecting our environment. So, we should adopt methods and activities which help us in doing so, and believe that we can make a difference. With this, we come to the end of the theory for today. For more information about this topic, do log on to www.topperlearning.com. I'll take a short break here, but on the other side of the break, get ready to jump to a higher level with Exam Decoded. Welcome back. I am Deobrato and you are watching Chemistry 11. Over the course of this episode, we have learnt effects of ozone depletion, greenhouse effect, global warming. It's time now for Exam Decoded. But before I put you to the test, here is a quick recap of all that we have learned today. In this episode, we learned that ozone occurs in two layers of the atmosphere, troposphere and stratosphere. Ozone present in the stratosphere protects life on the Earth from the sun's harmful ultraviolet radiations. Chlorofluorocarbons are the main reason of ozone layer depletion. The atmosphere traps the sun's heat near the Earth's surface and keeps it warm. This is called natural greenhouse effect. Some of the greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, chlorofluorocarbons, and water vapor in the atmosphere. The presence of greenhouse gases in large amounts may also lead to the heating of the atmosphere and cause global warming. The increase in temperature due to the greenhouse effect is called global warming. Now that we are fortified with the facts, there is no reason to delay. Moving on to Exam Decoded. Welcome to Exam Decoded, where I will give you some tips and some analysis, all designed to max your scores. You know, answering exam questions doesn't always have to be stressful. It can also be an invigorating challenge, a lot like our rapid fire round. Let's go over the rules. This round has 5 questions for 1 mark each. You will get no more than 5 seconds for each answer. Track your scores carefully and I will tell you what they mean. Your first question is, the gas of vital importance to all living organisms present in the stratosphere is A. Carbon dioxide, B. Nitrogen, C. Ozone, D. Carbon monoxide. And the correct answer is C. Ozone. Let's move on to the second question. The gas that contributes the most to the greenhouse effect is A. Carbon monoxide, B. Water vapor, C. Ozone, D. Carbon dioxide. If your answer is D. Carbon dioxide, you bag 1 more mark. Now the third question coming your way. The increase in temperature due to the greenhouse effect is known as A. Global warming, B. Ozone hole, C. Acid rain, D. None of these. The correct answer is A. Global warming. The second last question. Ozone present in stratosphere acts as pollutant. True or false? This is false. At the end, a simple question for you. Methane is a greenhouse gas. True or false? If you said true, you are right. Time now to see how you have fared. If you have got all 5 answers right, then you are a high flyer and this is definitely your strong subject. If you have scored 4 or 3, then you are an achiever. you are doing well, but a bit more practice is needed. If you have scored less than 3, then you are a learner who must keep studying hard to master this topic. But no matter how you did in our rapid fire round, do log on to www.topperlearning.com for many more tests and question papers. It's important to know that the topic Effects of Pollution comes under the chapter Pollution, which carries a weightage of 3 marks, making it an important part of your exam paper. The questions asked from this topic can be very short answer type questions for 1 mark and short answer type questions for 2 marks. The questions covered from this topic usually test your knowledge ability. Let's take a look at one such question for 2 marks. It's a knowledge-based one, so I would lead you through the various steps. What do you understand by greenhouse effect? What are the major greenhouse gases? This question is for 2 marks. So let's see how you can get both of them. While answering this question, you must write, when the radiations from the sun reach the Earth's surface, the atmosphere traps the sun's heat near the Earth's surface and keeps it warm. This is called greenhouse effect. It maintains the temperature of the Earth. This explanation will fetch you 1 mark. Carbon dioxide and other gases like methane, nitrous oxide, and CFCs are some examples of greenhouse gases. These examples will fetch you the other mark. That's all we have in store for you today. I do hope that now you will act as a catalyst of change for protecting the environment. For more on the concepts of this topic, log on to www.topperlearning.com. It's now time to say goodbye. But let me leave you with an interesting piece of information. Freons, which were once used in dry cleaning, are now phased out. This is because freons, being non-reactive, rises up in the atmosphere along with other gases and leads to destruction of ozone by photodissociation. Take care, keep thinking.